Shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I can't deny how amazing and gorgeous the score can be in this game, but not just the score. There's a lot of droning music that creates this unique soundscape that really helps set Haran apart from other zombie media.
Data on the subject, Kadir Suleiman, a local political figure hired to maintain order after the outbreak.
So Techland throws a lot of information at us right off the start, and you'd be forgiven if you miss some of it. Like, it's a lot. But the story here isn't this game's main focus, and this was the fastest way to get our plot in motion so we can experience the gameplay, which is the focus. And the story implies pretty bare bones, but we weren't needing The Last of Us. Techland knew what they were doing when creating this game and stuck to those guns from start to finish. Even with that said, there are some great characterizations and moments throughout that I'll of course be mentioning. I actually really like what they did with Crane's character. In comparison to what he becomes and the people around him, he's terrible at parkour. I mean, hell, he can't even land on his feet right now, but it's having this progression be so tangible that's so fun.
One of us?
We'll see.
The little dumb monkey in my brain just likes that line. It's just dripping in cool. That is all.
Zombie! Zombie! Run!
Yay, they use the word zombie in this game. How weird is it that zombie has become like a bad word to use in zombie games?
Great start, 31.
I saw somewhere that 31 is Turkish slang for wanker, which I find funny, but couldn't find anywhere to corroborate that. He's 31 because he's the 31st infected, but it's also the inverse of unlucky 13.
Are you the boss?
What, am I too young? You got the problem with my age?
I was actually stoked to have the boss be a younger kid. There's a lot I feel you could do with that thematically, but it's tossed out the window, which is fine. But just the illusion is enough for me.
I'm not lazy, you little shit.
This is what I'm talking about with these characters. Crane has got a lot of personality, I love it. It also helps that Sonic the Hedgehog, Roger Craig Smith voices him. I felt proud of myself being able to pick him out from my time with Arkham Origins.
13.
I'm amazed this place even has a 13th floor. Freaking weirdos sometimes skip the 13th floor when labeling them. But hey, hell, found him on the 13th floor, so need I explain further why this is a win? This game is rated M for mother, but not anymore. The color shift to blue is pretty neat when talking to the GRE. First, it makes it clear that we're using our radio, and second, blue is generally a color associated with calm and peacefulness, the literal opposite of what is going on in Haran. And since we're talking with the civilized world, it's why we get the shift. If you're colorblind, sorry.
Don't worry, my cover's intact.
It's pretty cool that we play a mole and later a double agent. Normally in these type of stories, we are to relate with normal everyday people that become badasses, but not here. And it also creates a little dilemma for the player, as we will naturally identify with these people just trying to survive, but we got some bigwig stuff to take care of. And I don't think I'm alone when I say this. That ain't it.
Symptoms, but the people here say I'm infected.
Then you'd better get your hands on some antizin ASAP.
Dying Light a lot of the time takes the zombie tropes we expect and flip them or change them entirely, and it's really nice to have a more fresh take on the genre. Having antizin removes any ludonarrative distance from fighting zombies and skips all the boring steps about if a cure is possible. We all know it, but I gotta say it. Dying Light meets Mirror's Edge. Games that should bang for sure, and they made a pretty good baby. Thanks, Jakey.
You are just smart enough to be dangerous, you know that?
I really love that saying a lot. Stay humble, even if you are pretty knowledgeable on the subject. You can always learn more.
Tell a convincing lie to save your life. I know what I'm doing. Yeah? You think you can't die?
How the hell did I not notice this crazy in-your-face foreshadowing of his death? Maybe it's actually pretty natural and well done and I'm being a cynic. Anyway, some Raheem is definitely gonna totally survive this game shadowing. Jade's got a jade necklace. Why is that worthy of a win and all the time I'll take to edit this line? Because it's pretty darn cool. Costume design can be overlooked at a lot in video games, and it's little things like this that should be appreciated.
Raheem!
My leg!
Jesus, don't move! I'll get help!
Ha! I was just with you.
Raheem's got jokes. If I win the parkour in an AC game, then I have to in Dying Light. Mirror's Edge showed us that the first-person parkour could work, and Dying Light, I'd say, really expanded upon and got pretty close to perfecting it. The upgrade tree for agility is a great way to drip feed us new abilities and make us really feel like we are personally getting better at it.
Easy to get paranoid when you're isolated.
Man, Techland was really ahead of the curve, if you know what I mean.
Do a few favors, they might like you more. Might even find a woman.
Looks like Dying Light went to Skyrim school falling in love.
What? No, suppressant.
I was not ready to be treated by Achilles in my non-Assassin's Creed game.
It's a variation of rabies.
That's pretty cool. I love when the infection is based on some real-world infection we already have, just like the cordyceps or mad cow disease. A little plausibility goes a long way. Skill trees are fun like this or terrible like AC Valhalla. Pretty much all the skills in this game are great because they give you tangible abilities to use for the most part, not just a 2.5% to crit.
Unlikely that a single researcher working out of a trailer could produce any significant results. But if he does, we want to see it.
It's fun how long we are led to believe that we are working for the good guys, and there are hints to their true nature if you pay attention.
And Crane, thank you. Back to you, Spike.
What is this, a news network? The world design in Dying Light is actually pretty stellar, with a lot of attention to detail. I can only imagine how painstaking it must have been to create all these little ledges and routes for the player to freely approach them in any way to express themselves. And also, it's way more fun and creative than in some other games where it's just static press W to win type of flow. Here, you gotta constantly be making decisions and moving correctly. I mentioned that Crane gets better through the skill trees with his movement, but so do we, literally, with our parkour skills. Nothing better than just getting to a perfect flow, sprinting away from volatiles.
What is this?
Mr. Hammer from Arkham City.
His mission failed. Jade called a meeting in the town.
I enjoyed these in Shadow of Mordor, and I enjoy them here as well. Just little reminders of where the story's at and what we're doing next.
Containing Antizin. Destroy it.
What? The government's kind of shady? Utilitarian? No. This is actually terrifying. I don't think I was ever more tense in this chase than I was in the entirety of Resident Evil 8. It's hard to put into words what makes it so horrifying. I was literally screeching and jumping in my chair on every move I made to get away. They weren't just gassing us up about the night. It's some tough shit, and they know this, so they reward us with some double gamer points.
Is it okay?
Okay. Just come back in one piece, all right?
Ooh, she sweet on him.
Was that my left or your left?
Right's got jokes too. Story time though. I couldn't figure out my rights from left to save my life when I was a kid. So it wasn't until I broke my arm when I was 6 that I learned real quick. How did I break my arm? I jumped off a slide trying to be cool. It was not cool.
Fail. He doesn't handle disappointment very well.
Is Rice just a bad evil dude for the sake of it? Yeah, but he was created just to be evil, and he serves his purpose well. These towers are what Far Cry 3 and 4 towers wish they could be.
Posing of one's will, the creation of one's own rules, that is what makes a man.
Nah. What makes a man is emotional vulnerability, helping others, and not having a shred of toxic masculinity. So, not you.
I'll tell you what. How about I break both your legs and drag you through the streets back to Rice's place, huh?
You know, I didn't know that Crane was hard like this, and now, so am I.
Rice said he'd protect us if we paid him. But so far, all he's done is take our money. There's no protection, just threats.
Reminds me of the Saviors from The Walking Dead, and I love Negan, so... What is it, the 1920s again? Just look at the inflation. God.
Feared and loved, if one cannot be both.
Machiavelli.
Crane would be great at GamingWins. I like that Rice doesn't even respect us enough to turn and face us while he talks his smack.
Like a good little
Bitch.
dog.
Yeah, close enough.
Someone else's rules is no man at all.
At least he's consistently evil.
He wanted me to kidnap Jade Aldemir and dump her with him so he can make her fight in his pit.
Yes, and?
That's pretty funny. And Miss Jerry would be good at improv.
We could have sealed off that one apartment, but Brecken wanted to save as many lives as possible.
Love that, Brecken. And that probably comes from the fact that he was a parkour instructor, and if I know anything about teachers, is that the good ones are some of the most selfless, loving people I've ever met. You guys ever had that one teacher that was basically your parent?
I'm no leader. I'm a goddamn parkour instructor.
And I love that because, one, I used to do parkour and take classes, so like, heck yeah. And two, being a leader sometimes just comes down to being the one people are willing to follow. A lot of the time, you don't gotta be the best, just the one to make the choice.
Okay, just give me some time, all right? There's gotta be another way.
Listen to that goddamn piano. That's just so pretty.
We put you in Haran to find our file, not to play Mother Teresa.
Okay, yeah, she's pretty funny. I think it's the cold, calculated voice cracking wise that gets me.
You assholes take the cake, you know that? You and your file. Like, I'll locate the file for you, but I'm gonna take a good long look at it before I decide what to do about it.
Once again, Crane's a hard motherfucker.
God, Crane, you're such an oaf. Why don't you just stick your head out the door and shout, "Here we are, come get us"?
Flirting? It's raining right after Raheem's death, like the world's crying for his loss.
Like a snake in the grass. Here, in a city of lies, you are the biggest liar of them all.
For a second, we might think that he's talking about how Crane kind of played both sides, but then we realize and remember that we've been sent by the GRE, and this is a perfect mission coming off the heels of Siblings because we've started to actually care for these people, and now we are about to lose it all because of the GRE that we don't even like anymore. It's a classic trope, but always effective.
But after all,
Crane really doesn't give a fuck.
The GRE plans to weaponize the virus, not cure it.
they're only interested in profit.
not saving lives. And by following their rules, you have become their trained monkey.
I really wish they kept going with Rice being an anti-hero. Would have been far more interesting to have to work with him. But not every bad guy has to be a nuanced, misunderstood one, so I get it. Now that's pretty damn sexy, and thank you Techland for not making it a QTE. I've been waiting for a high-octane chase scene like this in the story. My guess as to why they kept them at a smaller number was because we get so many emergent player-driven chases when we are in the open world at night, so they didn't want to exhaust us on them. Now Sector Zero was an awesome second map. One, it looks just like Assassin's Creed 2 Florence, so it feels like a nostalgia trip. And two, the entire map is way more vertical than the slums and requires different techniques and more care in your traversal.
Need anything technical? I'm your man.
Savvy is savvy with tech. I don't know why these wires are always in parkour games, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. Looks like Crane went to the Joker school of getting his detonator to work. Of all the things they decided to do, it's just a frowny face, and I think that's hilarious. Sometimes a lot of zombies is all you need to really make your finale feel badass. Just like Raheem, Jade lying about her bite, attacks Crane, and he kills her with a neck snap.
Yeah, you're looking pretty f***ed up, huh? Yeah, those don't look like the kinds of wounds you recover from.
Like I mentioned before, I love that Crane isn't a perfect nice guy protagonist. We've got Brecken for that.
I knew it! That was too close.
Yeah, literally moments, but it did help make for a cool shot.
Want the research? Just wait for my signal.
Watching Crane come to his own is the best part of the story. We start as a lapdog and then become top dog.
That's the GRE operative I was telling you about. What's his name?
Amir.
Yes, Amir Qureshi.
What? Amir was GRE? Doesn't really serve anything, but is neat, I guess.
Oh, would you just shut up? You're the last thing I want to hear.
Crane was speaking my mind. I was so over this game by this point that this really got me rolling.
Without it, Suleiman.
He used his government name. That's how you know he means real shit. I take back what I said about the QTE earlier. Hey, would you look at that? The helicopter's blue, just like the color grade when talking to the GRE.
A lot of reasons to tell you to go f yourself, but why don't we just pretend for a minute that you don't think I'm stupid?
This is what I wish I could have said to the person that talked me into signing student loans. So, Dying Light. I'm not gonna front. This is not a game I enjoyed in the slightest. I did not have fun playing through it, and was very disappointed in the story, as it was barely good enough to justify its existence. With that said, at least the gameplay's pretty solid. The parkour is a lot of fun once you get it upgraded, and you can make some pretty sick weapons throughout the game. Let me also mention the amazing support Techland had provided Dying Light over the years, constantly giving this community new updates and things to play with. And then being able to do all this in co-op with nothing else being changed is a feat in and of itself. What do you think of Dying Light? Please don't destroy me in the comments because I didn't find many things worth talking about, and having this be a shorter one. So, I prefer to keep things constructed. Anyway, remember, drive the speed limit, drink some water, and love one another. Pizza. But before you enjoy that pizza, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. They make it easy to connect with your audience and generate revenue through gated members-only content. You can manage these members, send email communications, and leverage audience insights, all on one easy-to-use platform. Squarespace makes it easy to create a community using their powerful blogging tools to organize your content. And let me not forget to mention Squarespace Extensions. These third-party tools can help manage inventory, promote products, and streamline bookkeeping, all in addition to their already powerful e-commerce tools. And Squarespace makes it easy to display posts from your social profiles, automatically pushing website content to your favorite social media. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/gamingwins to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.